Hey, this is my first sit down video with the new shelves and I kind of love it. I get coffee. We are ready for this video. I'm not ready for this video.
1, 2, 3.
This is the first wrap up of 2024. Hi, hello, my name is Kendall. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. Reading journal here. We're going to dive in. I've read 7 books this month, but they're all a little chunky, so I'll take it. And can I just say, for not reading for like 2-3 months straight at the end of 2023, not only is 7 books amazing for me, but it was such a good reading month. It was such a good way to start off the year. So this was very much kind of a romance month for me, which is very weird because all 2023 it was a fantasy year for me. We did start off the year with a fantasy, a 4-star read, and that is City of Bones by Miss Cassandra Clare, the very first book in the Mortal Instruments series and the Shadowhunter universe. This is the series I plan to tackle, hopefully in its entirety, in 2024. Have I finished Throne of Glass yet? No, but that's besides the point. This is the series of the year, but City of Bones is, you're following the main character Clary in the Mortal Instruments series, and it's a very, I'm gonna say, dystopian universe. There's the human world, and then integrated in the human world are secret passages in the secret life of these shadow hunters and angels and demons and shapeshifters and everything of the sort. And this is the very first book where we start to meet like the friend group and everything. Then we went on a little romance kick. These next few books I read in my 24-hour readathon, or attempting to read for 24 hours because I did not do it very successfully. And the first one that we finished in that video was Love Redesigned by Miss Lauren Asher. This is the first book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. It's kind of a spin-off of the Dreamland Billionaire series. Guys, Julian and Dahlia, it's a slow burn childhood friends to enemies to lovers, and it follows interior design. Julian owns his own kind of, I'm gonna say, real estate company. He buys houses, flips them, and then sells them in Lake Wisteria, and then he expands into Lake Aurora. And Dahlia has her own interior design show, but she has come home for mysterious reasons. It's a lot of trauma as to why she is home and what happened with her previous engagement and everything like that. And Julian's mother sets him up to buy a house in Lake Wisteria and is like, to get everything that is going on off of Dahlia's mind, you need to work on this house with her. So you have forced proximity as well, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful romance, and Julian is such a good love interest. This was also a 4.5-star read for me, not quite 5 stars. There is no third act breakup, I will say. I was very worried approaching the end, if you didn't watch the 24-hour readathon, that there was going to be one, but there wasn't, and it was everything done right. The next romance that I went into was The Fake Out by Miss Stephanie Archer. In the video, I gave this book a 4.5 stars. Since reading it and uploading that video, I have moved this to a 5-star read, the very first one of 2024. The Fake Out follows Rory and Hazel. Rory is an ice hockey player, and Hazel is the physical therapist of the team. Is kind of enemies to lovers, fake dating to make her ex jealous when he joins the team. The Fake Out is actually the second book in the Vancouver Storm series by Stephanie Archer, with the first one being Behind the Net. Both of them are very beautiful romances. I loved Behind the Net when I read it last year. Rory is just a wonderful book boyfriend. If you like ice hockey, if you're looking for something that's a little bit better than Elle Kennedy, it is Stephanie Archer. end this series. I've said that so much. I feel like I've raved about this so much over the past month, so I'm not really gonna rave about it anymore, but just know that you guys need to pick this up. Then, also in that video, I read Reckless by Miss Elsie Silver. This follows Theo and Winter. Is kind of single mom, kind of reverse Grumpy Sunshine, without a doubt. Reverse Grumpy Sunshine is the best way I can describe this book. Not really enemies to lovers. It's very, I don't know, it's a weird dynamic between the two characters, but it is more also kind of friends to lovers. There isn't really much miscommunication, not much of a third act breakup. I loved watching. I feel like I loved this series more and more as it went on, because not only do you see so much of the past couples in these books, but you just, the friend group, and what really gets me are like the family group chats. Reckless by Miss Elsie Silver, a 4.5 stars. I read this on my Kindle. I've been very much a Kindle girly. I did annotate this, I just haven't added in the little tabs yet. I don't think you can see much of the annotations, but they are in there, and I loved this. Loved Theo, loved Winter. I love the way Theo kind of worked Winter through her trauma and her past that we kind of got sneak peeks into in the previous 3 books. And I just love the Chestnut Spring series so much. Theo is a bull rider. He is Rhett's apprentice. We kind of get some sneak peeks of him from Flawless and kind of throughout the rest of the series. And their little girl. Oh, naturally, because I finished Reckless, I read Hopeless by Elsie Silver and gave this a 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite in the series, but I don't know, like it was kind of my least favorite, but I love all the books in the series at the same time. This follows Bo and Bailey. It's a little bit of an age gap, an arranged marriage or arranged engagement, I guess we could say. Bailey comes from a very traumatic past. Her family is the most hated family in Chestnut Springs. Her and Bo kind of come to an agreement, like, hey, more of like a bet. We're gonna call it a bet. They make a bet that if they say Bailey is engaged to Bo, who is the most beloved boy in Chestnut Springs, that she will be able to get these jobs and get these opportunities that she isn't given, being from the family that she is from. And from there, their love just develops. And then you also see more into Bo and kind of what happened to him in the previous 3-4 books that we were kind of hinted at, but didn't really know what was going on. And the ranch, and both characters kind of finding what they want to do and starting a life and kind of moving through each other's trauma and rerouting each other's traumas in different ways and different aspects. And it's just a beautiful love story, a very classic, beautiful love story, not a rom-com in the slightest. It is a lot of deep topics, but I definitely think it's worth the read. We read, was this in my 24-hour readathon? Maybe. I think it was. No, maybe. I can't remember. But I read Flow, which is the first book in the Grip trilogy. That's why I'm holding the whole bind up. I only read the first one. It is I think it's a novella, because it was only like 200 pages. I read that on my Kindle as well. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I gave it a 3 stars. It was my worst book of the month. It wasn't bad. It was just a weird, like, instant attraction kind of love, and it kind of left off on a cliffhanger, like a really weird, like, plot twist. But it follows Grip and Bristol. Bristol is Grip's best friend's twin sister, so you can see where that kind of dynamic gets a little weird. Very weird kind of first novella. Like, I get the point of it, and it kind of lays out a plot line for the next 2 books, but it was kind of a really weird, like, instant attraction for me. But yeah, 3 stars. I also read this on my Kindle, because why would I read a little novella out of this huge thing that is it's a super stiff paperback. I went on a little reading break for the second to last week of January, and then I just finished the last book this morning, and guys, I don't think you're prepared. Naturally, this is a 5-star read, and you are going to see how much I annotated this book. I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Finally, I got to read what the hype has been about, and I loved it, to say the least. You see all of these annotations. They are insane. Slow burn romance. At the end, it left me, I don't know who I support. I'm a very neutral stance come the end of the book. I don't know where this is going to go. It sets up perfectly for the second. If you've never heard of Powerless or have never been intrigued to pick it up, it's basically Hunger Games but modernized. You follow Peyton and Kai. Kai is the prince of the king, and Peyton is an ordinary in the slums. In this world, the ordinaries get eliminated. They are a threat to the elites that have all these powers, and Peyton has been disguising herself as an elite since she was a little girl. She gets admitted into the Purging Trials, which is kind of like the Hunger Games. The Purging Trials is every year there are 10 elites selected to represent their country. It's more seen as more like you're doing this to represent the good of your kingdom. Like, it's not as bad of a thing as the Hunger Games, or they don't make it seem like it. And Peyton is selected as one of the 10 elites to be in the Purging Trial. So she's going through all of these trials as being an ordinary, but no one knows that she's an ordinary. She is so good at hiding it. And you follow a little love triangle and so many plot twists and just a little slow burn romance, and it's adorable, and I want to reread it again so bad. I listened to this on audio as well as reading it physically, and the audiobook just adds so much more to it. I loved the audiobook so much. This is an easy 5-star, 6-star read. I feel like this book has jumped me back into wanting to be into fantasy and into the fantasy universe, and but that is the quick and easy summary of every book that I've read for the very first month of January. You can tell it was an amazing reading month for me. I absolutely love every single book that I read this month. While I couldn't have thought of a better way to start 2024 than with these amazing 7 books, and I'm so excited for what this new year is going to hold reading wise. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A nice little quick January wrap up for you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my February TBR, which I'm also super excited for and looking forward to. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and while you're down there, go ahead and check out my bookish playlist with all of my other previous book videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.
1, 2